All right. So this adaptation going into this game, we had some complaints. Senna, when Ashes open, making that trade into red side is very poor, because it means that Fnatic is going to have a stronger bot side, and on top of that, they're going to be able to counterpick the solo lanes. So that's very, very dangerous. You don't want to be put in that position, especially when there are teams that play flex champions that they can pick on 4-5, and it puts them in a position where, of course, you just hold all your cards close to your chest. Why you're not an analyst anymore for Riot? Well, I work for Sandbox, and it would be hard to juggle both of those positions. So Ashe is banned. Perfect. Ashe is banned, it means Senna makes more sense. Let's see what they throw at us. Jhin Senna, winnable, perfectly winnable. They go Leona, they give up the Naut. Leona, I think, is good into Nautilus. I think this is winning for Leona. This is what we see in every LPL, LCK. So it feels like this is like bot lane meta-wise. I felt like Europe lagged behind this entire split. Besides with the innovation of Mad Lions with the Wukong bot. But to be fair, the Wukong bot, I'm gonna be honest, I invented that shit. Before we continue with the review, look at this one. Actually, who cares? I played it in Twitch Rivals. I'm just gonna put it out there. Okay. Set jungle, also much better than Lilia. Like, Lilia was a bit of a grief game. Lilia requires a very, very specific style to work, in my opinion. I think you need like Galio. You need Galio. You need a mid laner that lives. You need a Doinby. You need a mid laner that lives for you. Okay, so first three, we like it. Jankos is going to do good on set. I think that's a big deal here. Hecarim is still open, and I think Hecarim, we are slowly realizing how OP this champion is. Very, very OP champ. Very, very OP champ. So Jhin Nautilus, this is their answer into Senna. I think G2 is very, very happy. So first three. Just because of the condition. Like if this was LPL, I would say red side, one first three. Because they will be able to pick the mid laner that matches together with Lilia well. This will, first three, not bad at all. These champions are going to scale well. They're going to do well, regardless of what the 4-5 pick is. This doesn't lock you into any playstyle at all. Neither does this, but I just feel like this is weaker than this. But in the context of LEC, I think you'll be able to do more good with the set. I don't think any European team has figured out how to play Lilia. Lilia is a tricky champ, very tricky champ. It's like playing, Graves. You need laners that work for you. It feels very bad to play Lilia. Like, a lot of AP junglers become really, really, really OP when it comes to OP. What was I saying? Can someone remind me what I was saying? I completely blacked out. Nevertheless, Orianna blind. We like this too. Better than to play the Akali. Much better. Orianna can contest Prio and can play better on her own. Oh yes, AP junglers become AP jungle item is so absurdly OP because it just, your clear speed becomes so incredibly fast. The earlier you get to that point, the quicker you kind of explode into the game. And if there are things in the way when you're playing Nidalee and Lilia, in the way of you getting there, the champion really slows down hard. Slows down super hard. The key difference here with the draft and the previous draft is with these three champions, you actually have a top side that can dictate the game. Leona can do roams, Senna ult will be valuable. You have a top side that actually is relevant in the game. If I get AP jungle item and a fast 6 game on Evelyn is not losable. Yeah. Like for example, the game between Mad versus Fnatic game 1. Like, is this in it? Oh, Rogue, sorry. Rogue. Here, after this happens to you and you're an AP jungle. Here, game is lost. Game is complete lost for the side of Rogue. The AP jungle item spike is going to be too quick. He already had finished Codex. He's gonna base. AP jungle finished 6 minute. Like, it's lost. AP jungle item is absurdly broken when you get to it. If you have things that put you behind, but most of the time these champions that rely on the AP jungle item tend to be a bit weaker before that point. Tend to be a bit weaker before they reach that point. Like, you buy a sapphire crystal, it's not the same as buying 2 long swords, right? 2 long swords are much juicier than buying like an Hamtom and a sapphire crystal. So there's some weaknesses to it, but when you get to it, when you get this point, woo! It's just your clear speed becomes monstrous, absolutely monstrous. So Hecarim was ignored, very surprising. Hecarim being ignored here was very strange. I don't understand why we went for the Lilia here. I think Heka is very nice. So if we compare these two drafts, I don't think Fnatic is as lost as G2 was. I don't think it's lost at all, actually. I think the top matchup is not easy, because this was a sham blind pick. I think in other cases, teams would 4-pick Akali, you know? Because teams can fake that they, or not fake, but they can flex it. They can send it into top side, they can send it into bottom side. But in this case, I think Bwipo Akali is honestly not a thing. I remember one game Bwipo Akali, and I'll game 5 G2 versus Fnatic. Where is it? There's too many new videos. So Bwipo Akali was really not a thing. Nevertheless. So usually you want to go Akali here. Even though Shen is very strong, blind pick, I don't know, is rough. It's rough. And then we have the combination of Senna and Akali again. And these two champions just don't go together. Just don't go together. The symbiosis between these champions is much more clear. The bridging between the points in the game are much more clear. Where do you think is the best pick into Shen? I think Gangplank. Gangplank. Here, honestly, imagine they had Hecarim. But Hecarim Akali is also not so good together. I wonder if Akali is just not that insane right now because of the junglers that are being played. Because right now, if you look at the top tier junglers, it's Evelynn, Hecarim, and I don't think they synergize too well with Akali. Unless Akali has like a counter matchup. But I wouldn't say Orianna Akali is a counter matchup, you know? Even though you have some opportunities here, like you will have some opportunities to gain advantages, you know, with Shen ultimate, with Akali ultimate. But if that fails once in such a game, you're going to be in a very, very rough position. Because priority-wise, I think Orianna and Sett are going to be able to dictate a big majority of the early game. Jace is going to dictate Shen. And whenever you commit to something like a Shen Akali all-in, it needs to bear a lot of fruit. It needs to bear a lot of fruit. So we think about options of what we could play. The thing is, with Shen, the options are very slim. With Shen already, you kind of committed it down a path where you need to have something that delivers Shen. Otherwise, it makes less sense. In other cases, if you want to look at Orianna in a vacuum, of course, you want to look at Syndra. You can look at Zoe, even though in Europe, probably this is something that people don't want to play. Azir is also, of course, an option. And then you have the options of Ziggs and Vel'Koz, maybe even Xerath, if you want to be a savant, as Ellis puts it. And then if you look at the bracket that fits together with Shen, then what comes to mind is, of course, LeBlanc, and then, of course, Akali. I think Kog'Maw is a bit too hard against Orianna. Playable, but hard. So looking at this school of champions, what Nemesis likes to play is, of course, Akali. So they pick Akali. So here, if you look at Fnatic, what they need to do, they need to make sure that they have bottom prio. They need to use Lilia to get bottom prio and then hover into Akali's side to give her breathing room. Need to make sure that she has breathing room. If Akali doesn't have breathing room, it's going to be a rough game. Because at the same time, what's going to happen is Jace, Sett, Orianna, and Leona even, they're going to look to pressure into Akali. So it's going to be kind of a battle. Shen should be isolated, he should be under his turret. Senna should be isolated under the tower. So we're going to have these big clashes. Why pick Jace? Because they need a blind pick top lane champion that is going to be winning lane. But at the same time, they see Shen. They need something with DPS output, they need an AD champion. Gangplank is out, Renekton is out, so they go for Jace. Jace is winning into Shen. Isn't Galio good here instead of Akali? You can also deliver Shen. So Galio loses against Orianna, and Galio cannot deliver Shen. Galio also needs a delivery. You show up to the bank, you rob the bank, you go outside, and like, who's the getaway driver? We don't have a getaway driver. Everyone's just sitting in the back seat. And that's Shen and Galio. What about Shen support, not mid, and then counter pick to Jace 5-head? Well, honestly, that doesn't sound too terrible. But countering Jace, like the only option here is Wukong. But it's a clever idea. I'm not. I don't think it's too terrible of an idea. Cannon is not a counter to Jace. Jace wins Cannon. LEC finals prediction. I think G2 will win. Yeah, I think just the biggest mistake I think was just Hecarim. Just go Hecarim. I think Europe should just stay away from Lilia. I think it's just easier that way. And I think there's no shame in that. No shame at all. It's the same way they stayed away from Nidalee. So this composition, I like G2's more because I think the clarity of what they need to do and how they need to help each other is much easier to see. Much easier to see. Is Shen good against Leona? It's decent. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's decent. Right? You can W the Leona Q and defend your AD, and you can do some cheeky things, but 2v2-1 lane-wise, you're not going to be, that excited about it. Do you feel that Jhin is pretty underwhelming? I think maybe if you check LPO, it doesn't look that underwhelming. I think there's been a lot of fantastic games with Jhin in it. But this matchup is not that particularly exciting for Jhin. I think Senna is completely happy to lane against Jhin. They kind of fall into the same category of how they push towers and so forth, even though Jhin got buffed on the first shot onto the tower. Do you think G2 should try something other than set jungle? Well, they need wins. G2 right now need wins. I think learning the new stuff is going to be too difficult. So I think right now G2 is in trouble because I don't know if Janko is ready to play Evelyn, Hecarim. These are things that he needs to learn. With all the utility supports, why haven't we seen Sivir lately? Utility ADs. Yo, Bizzle. So it doesn't come down to... It doesn't come down to utility ADs or like the school of ADs that are being shown. It just comes down to matchups. Sivir could be played into Jhin, but Jhin is rarely blind picked. Jhin is used as a soft counter or a pick into Ashe, into Senna, into Caitlyn, but it's never blind picked. And if you pick Sivir into the AD carries that are being blind picked, you're going to have a very, very hard time. Bottom AD choices are most of the time relevant to matchups. Matchups only. Yeah, Fnatic are gonna get level 2 here. Zone off. Maybe they can deny it. I think Senna maybe lost XP even. Good to see you, Bildu. Isn't Sivir somewhat okay into Kate? No. Why is Kaza's AD not being played when it's really broken? Thank you, Pezzo. Thank you. Do you think Sivir loses to Senna? You're happy to play Senna against Sivir. Senna is very happy to play against low-range AD carries. So here we can see the matchup taking a very, very different turn. Like obviously it's a bit different because Seth is in the jungle, but this is how I see most Akali Orianna matchups going early. Caps has the freedom to play more aggressively because, of course, he has a set jungle. Ooh, self-made, just trading flash. Not sure if this is good for Jankos, because his flash is so powerful. It's like a Rek'Sai flash, it's almost a guaranteed gank in a lot of cases. I think Jankos' mindset here is just he has Hex Flash or trading flash for flash is completely okay. But I think there's a world where self-made maybe can get away with just a blue smite, but I'm not sure. Is self-made a jungler capable to take Jankos' throne? I think currently he has. In the current meta, I think he has. I love to see Draven in competitive. Why isn't he picked right now? Because most AD carry players are pussies. No, I'm just kidding, but Caitlyn, Ashe are very good into it. Let's take a look here. I remember this 2v2 being very important. I think Jankos really, really griefed it. Really, really griefed it. I think here Wunder could have ran down. He could have ran bottom side. But he flashes, gets chunked, doesn't have the form switch, Doesn't have flash either. And then Jankos is tanking a lot of minions here and going in deep, and the W was very ugly. Jankos' haymaker was very, very ugly. Ugly. I wonder here if the mistake here from Wunder is that he doesn't go bottom towards Jankos' side. But maybe the mistake in the first place as well is Wunder's positioning, because he's hovering into bottom side and putting a ward. But there's no reason for him to put a ward right now. No reason for him to put a ward. I think also if he wants to put this ward, he can put it way safer. Like he can put it from over the wall. So this is definitely also Wunder's mistakes. He trolled here a bit. Selfmade shows up and after this haymaker, Sag. Wow, my nose is so itchy. Ooh, boo. My nose is itchy. What a massacre. Yeah, this is the natural way of how the matchup should go. Yeah, Nemesis might have a window to TP back and to cancel. Cap's being very greedy. Cap's mistake here. 10 CS advantage is not a terrible situation for Akali. Shen getting that solo frag or that kill on Wunder keeps him in the game. But here, if just to go back on the previous point, if Wunder plays it correct and if Jankos doesn't commit, they can keep the freeze here forever because 2v2 they should be winning. But like that, just breathing room. Shen did lose a lot of farm during this. Is Nemesis good or bad? I see so much criticism. Well, depends on how you view it, I guess. It's I think Caps is better. I think he had some good moments. He had definitely had some good moments. Definitely had some good moments. Definitely had some bad moments. And we'll leave it at that. So TP for TP mid. I don't see the wave state on bottom. I'm trying to read the wave position on bot. Trying to understand why Reckless has a base. So this looks frozen to me. Selfmade is out of HP. At least Nemesis won a game of FPX with Veigar. I think that came down to bottom gap, no? That game that they won. The wave is still frozen, so this is very rough for Fnatic. Wait. No, it's not frozen, not frozen. Not frozen any longer. Yeah, it's so hard to judge because I can't see the replay. I can't really make a judgment on what happened bot here. Who is, in your opinion, the best performing player in the world right now? But the real question is Nemesis serviceable enough? I think if Fnatic have ambitions to win the World Championship, then no. I think best performing players worldwide, I would say I would put Chovy there. I would put Kanavi, even though the last best of 5 was tough. Very, very tough. Knight. Caps. Rookie didn't play so good against LGD. Oh, there's like individual players. Like when you ask this question, I'm thinking about my top 20, you know, and I would put, you know, if I think of NA, the only player I would take from NA to put in my top 20 is Bjergsen and maybe Ignar. If I look at Europe, I think Caps, Selfmade, Wunder. Yeah, Reckless. Korea, like Ruler is fantastic. Deft. Ruler, Deft. Showmaker, Canyon. Like Canyon is one of the best junglers in the world. Chovy, obviously. BDD. Korea. Knight. Kanavi. Lemao. It's such a long list. Pioshik, no. Pioshik, probably no. Not so impressed with Pioshik. Oh well, we shouldn't get too deep into it. The top 20 list will happen. Yeah, Kaiser. Yeah, Kaiser for sure. Kaiser belongs on the list. Kaiser is the best support in Europe right now. PP God is not going to Worlds. Why Ignar over KoJG? I think Ignar is better. Oh well, we shouldn't get into the discussion. Let's review this game. Who would you choose to replace Nemesis? It's very hard. Like you need caps. We need 5 more caps in Europe. So it's a tough question. It's a very, very unfair as well. It's an unfair question. Like I don't think it's a conversation to have. You know, like the only thing I said was in the context of winning Worlds. There are not many players that can look good enough to win Worlds in Europe. You know? Even right now, across the board, it's looking rough, you know? So Nemesis is the second best mid lane of LEC. I would have to put more thought into it, but... Would Larson be upgrade over Nemesis? No. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't want to have this conversation. It's because I don't have a clear opinion. I don't have a clear opinion. Not that I want to avoid it. It's just that I don't have a clear opinion. And I think more of us should be able to, step away from conversations where we don't have a clear opinion. So hopefully that's okay. Back to this game. Just want to see what we missed. So forgive me. So after all the happenings in bottom side, set is on bottom. Do they do Drake? They don't do Drake. They don't care. Cloud Drake. I think that's okay. Timing of Rift Herald is more important. So set is keeping tempo. Getting 6, needs to get 6. Very nice move here from Caps to defend. Because if Lilia gets away with this, it's game changing. Tricky part here is though the reason Fnatic doesn't go is they don't know Janko's position. They don't know. And it's very easy to say Fnatic should have invaded here and taken this, but they don't know Janko's position. If they know Janko's position, then for sure they go and take the blue and they're very happy. But now Akali chooses to base with the prior that she has. Orianna went to defend. That is, very, very nice. I think the boss is the best top laner in the world. Do you think anyone can play Sion better than him? Yeah, exactly. Better Sion than the Shy. So here it looks like, a completely different game because it's not against Ashe. So Ashe Nautilus don't have like massive tempo swings that they can go. Jhin Nautilus don't have like this big power disparity in comparison to Senna Leona. So G2 would definitely have an opportunity to contest here. If we look at the power levels of both teams, there's no AP jungle item on Lilia. She's quite weak. She only has swiftness. She jumps around fast, but she doesn't do, that much. Shen is pushing. Jace is pathing through mid because he wants to have a better position for the Rift Herald fight. And very well done here by G2. I think it was greedy from Fnatic to start it up because they didn't have any kind of tempo advantage here. I think the way Fnatic find a way into this game is that they force all in with Akali and Shen ult, and they try to gain as much as possible out of it. Because through lanes is going to be hard. It's going to be very hard. They have the added benefit of Fnatic being able to push bottom side and gaining a lot of minions here for the Rift. So it's not too bad for Fnatic. Not too bad. But imagine a different world here where Fnatic didn't actually leash this Herald for the enemy team. I don't think starting Herald is the correct play here. Especially when Jhin went... Like if Jhin committed here, okay. But Jhin is committing in the bottom side. There's no reason to start the Herald because you don't have any tempo swing. Hylissang just stay in fog and then all good. And then here, if G2 don't have this Herald leashed and they are starting it from scratch, Jhin would buy so much time. Because this is not terrible, right? This is not terrible what Fnatic chose to do here. Because look at that, Jhin gets 2 platings and 2 waves are lost by Senna. 2 waves. That's a lot of fucking money there. It's a shit ton of money. That's fucking 600 Gs. And that's the second wave. But G2 got a lot of time bought as well because they didn't need to do the Herald. Like the Herald was just there. They picked it up. Juicy. Alphari, Self-Made, Caps, Reckless, Kaiser. Now that is a team. Now that is a fucking team. That is a monster team. And this is terrible. We mentioned before how important these timings are for Fnatic. They could have easily backed up, but they were so greedy for additional turret damage Like this is unnecessary, right? This is very unnecessary. They know this is coming. Shen wants to look at the top wave. Look at the top wave. Forgiven would be better than reckless. What fucking year is it? What are you smoking? Anything would be better than reckless. Jesus. You guys should go take a big look in the mirror. Fucking, you should take a look in the mirror and accept that Reckless is one of the best players in Europe. Okay, so look at that top wave. That top wave is completely bubagunusht. It is in the toilet for Shen. Fnatic overstepped. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. Very sad. Very sad. Oh no, Fnatic. No, no, no. No, no. Shen Ultimate is a big cooldown, gentlemen and ladies and everyone else. In the current meta, Selfmade is a better jungler than Jankos. In this moment, Selfmade is better than Jankos. You think Glacial Armor could work on Nidalee? No. Sounds trash. Whoa, Bippo. Bippo always makes it so obvious that his entire team is here. I think Hylissang should be happy this Q landed on the minion, because this was not the time to go. You madman. Boom. Boom. Holy. Boom. Reckless is smurfing, man. Hard winning the 1v1. He has item advantage though. Senna didn't get to base. Very nice. But these things matter, right? Both supers are roaming and they're impacting the map, and the 1v1 between AD carries, Jin is building an advantage, even though he, well, I guess the Herald situation was beneficial for him. Hey, why does Nemesis not kill him? It's a bit sad because Nemesis has the Akali passive reflex here, which most Akali players have. So here, first and foremost, I don't know what Wunder is doing. What on earth is Wunder doing? We swapped the lane matchups. I'm not sure why the swap happened here. I think the purpose of the swap is only for the fact that Orianna has TP. Orianna has TP. So Orianna has TP, and they want to just match Orianna with the TP and send Jason to mid. That's the only reasonable answer here. Jace can definitely lane, but here Wunder, you know, Wunder just closed his eyes, and then here Nemesis can auto, right? He can auto. he can auto, but he goes for passive, you know. So here he QRs, passes procced, and then he walks back 1 frame when he can auto the Jace. But this is a very common Akali move, right? You get the move speed, you get the passive, and then there you go. So maybe Lilia could survive a bit longer, but most likely Caps will kill him anyway. Just something to pay attention to. And now Shen TPs, and now Yanko shows up. Top wave is good for Shen, so he's not too unhappy. Perks. Lisang knows that the Goon Squad is coming. Pursue the neat bait. And here we go again. How many times it was Lisang in this place? Do you think IG didn't qualify for Worlds is good news for EU? I think it's good news for everyone, honestly. You have 2 players that when you face them, you know that they can be the best player in their position. Imagine going into a game against IG, you're a top laner and you say, I hope he wins, you know? And odds are, you know, recently, odds are that you can, you know, definitely, you know, trust those odds. But okay. You see here, when I mentioned in Champion Select that the game plan is always, it's kind of, it trickles down with G2. So they play from top side, into mid, into bot. Senna is isolated, but that's okay because as long as they pressure mid and top into bottom, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. But the Shy literally into the whole split. You weren't watching the whole split. It's really, really untrue. Like, I am so sick of people saying this. Like, I'm so sick of people saying this. It's so untrue. It's so goddamn untrue. People just are not watching the LPL. They see a highlight and that's it. Like, do people realize the Shy is all pro top lane? This like there was a point in time this is, well, he's all pro team for both spring and summer. LPL pro team. What the fuck is it? Here we go. He got it for spring. Okay. The Shy, Jackie Love, Lemao. The Shy. Summer. Two splits in a row, he's all pro team. I get it, he has some in games, but the thing is, this is the only thing the average fan can understand. This is the only thing the average fan can understand, so they latch on to that piece of information and they are proud of themselves for understanding that, oh, the Shy went 1-10 one game. IG was almost first, if not even first, in regular. But okay. Hylissang overstepped. Oh, he has a TP. Okay. Oh. Nemesis no ult on. I think Nemesis misplayed this. I don't think you can use your E like this. This is a very good movement here from G2 to walk up. And a very nice flash from Perks, honestly. Very nice flash. It sucks that Nemesis doesn't have ult. And that is all she wrote. It's weird because the advantages that G2 built up weren't big enough. Like the advantages built in this game weren't big enough, you know? I think Fnatic had very, very honest chances in fights. No offense, but that list doesn't mean anything. Same with EU lists in the World's Top 20. Look at the LEC list and tell me if it makes any sense. What do you mean? I'm not saying the list is perfect. I'm just saying it's an easy point of reference to show people that they are full of shit when they are saying a player inted a whole split. Like that has to be, you know, that just means, you know, someone's smoking some good ass kush, you know? Let's take a look at the LEC one. We can take a look at the LEC one. LEC all pro team. This team makes sense. I think this makes sense. This is for regular split. Patrick absolutely carried 4 bags of meat across the finish line many times. Rogue won a lot of games by just being a strong team. Wunder inspired Larsen, Hansama, Wander. Yeah, so you have whole rogue team. And Wunder. Yeah. Orome, Gilius, Humanoid, Reckless, Mickey. This is fine. This is completely fine. I wouldn't, yeah. It's actually, there's no self-made. But Fnatic in regular split, honestly guys, let's be honest, Fnatic in regular split were really bad. Like, regular split Fnatic was not that good. I know it's easy to say now, oh, Fnatic, baby, Fnatic are fucking good, man. Look at them. They beat G2. Baby. Well, Fnatic in regular season was not why people happy. What is it, Anna? Why? Okay. Don't get me wrong, self-made was not terrible in regular split. Like, my point is, the list isn't perfect. But it's reasonable, you know? You can justify it. Sorry guys. My girlfriend has a new screen and she doesn't know how to use it. Well, I was talking about this game is that Fnatic were actually in a fine, healthy position. Like, this is not that unhealthy, considering their lane matchups are quite difficult. Like, Shen's position in this game is not bad, but then Fnatic chose to do a lot of trades that just didn't make sense. Jhin is in a very good condition too, and we're going to have Akali buying Hextech Gunblade. So it's sad, very sad, because everything kind of just falls apart. Like here, Selfmade is dead right, they are forcing on bottom side, Hidisang, and they are counter TPing on this, they're TPing in, Bwipo walked all the way down, he had ult on, wave top is not perfect, Nemesis no ult for this fight, and they're just fighting with poor conditions. And I think if they don't take these fights and Orianna is not as fed, then maybe this game could look different. Oh, this was a beauty. This was a beauty though. I'm saying that, but this is nice. This was the other way around. The other way around. Because this was a very good recovery. Very, very good recovery. There we go. Boom. Boom. 2 quick kills. Fnatic a better tempo. Nice. What do you feel about Jhin as a pick? I think, sure, you could pick something better into Senna, but I don't think was the problem this game. Hidisang, I'm not sure what he's doing here. Like Hidisang giveth and Hidisang taketh. As I mentioned before, I think condition in the game is very fine for Fnatic. Very fine. Just problem is Orianna has a lot of kills, and this is going to hurt Akali. And Akali needs to do a lot of heavy lifting in this game. This composition is about Akali. Every time you have Akali in a game, it becomes about Akali. Tarzan has a team for next year. That's all I can say, I think. Tarzan will be playing competitive, as far as I know. Mickey going in on no zone. I think they need to give this Herald Bwipo's bottom side, and I don't know why Fnatic are contesting this space. It's so dangerous. Nemesis playing a bit with fire. Okay. See here, the reason I got worried about Fnatic's movement here, because the side choices have been made here. G2 have isolated mid and top, and Nemesis was contesting river when it was not necessary, but nothing happened, so why not? And then here Jace trying to defend bottom is also very, very greedy. I think Orianna should have kept pushing top here. Orianna didn't need to commit all the way. They see Shen on bottom side. Orianna should be pushing top wave already to make sure that they have better tempo. Just because Orianna doesn't push top wave, the tempo here is better for Fnatic. They can set on this gank and they lose the bottom wave. And Akali can defend top side. So this was well played from Fnatic. Fnatic did better here. Fnatic definitely did better here. Oh, I wish I could share you guys all the roster moves that are gonna happen next year, but I can't. It's just being in the world of LCK, really having you get a different perspective. So here, once again, I don't think this is so losing for Fnatic. I compare two sides here, and I don't think it's losing. I think Jace is not so strong. Jhin is very strong. Here they just need to give up. Just Just need to give up. My goodness. Oh, why did Fnatic woke up? Akali is committing, saying, hey guys, I'm gonna commit to the tower. They're using Herald. The tower mid is gone. We can look to defend the second one. I'm sure we can do that. We just need to hit the Herald once. But here they are walking up. Wow. Classic Bwipo end. Well, the thing is about Bwipo and Hilly is that they are trying to squeeze every penny, right? And if you squeeze every penny, there's going to be situations where it's going to be bad. This was very, very bad for Fnatic. Could have been a fine trade, and it turned out to be worse. Wunder is too scared to go topside because Akali actually dives him. Like Wunder is weak this game, very, very weak. And then here, you know, after Shen is dead, and Herald actually managed to punch it. You know, look at this. This Herald gets to hit the tower. I guess like here, Martin Larsson måste skjuta den här Heralden. He needs to shoot the Herald. But the Herald cancels the Jhin ult. Us. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. And then because of these two things happen, these two things happen. För helvete. Shen is dead and the Herald gets chunked. Jitsu's like, shit dude, we can actually go. Helisang he wants round 2 here. He wants round 2. So they walk in, Mickey with the E, good stopwatch, and then game is broken. Game is completely broken. And people were saying, well, Reckless is so fed on Jhin and he's doing nothing, 0-0-0. Fnatic took some very, very poor decisions this game. He had a chance to shoot the Herald for sure. So here, plain and simple, give up the mid tower, Akali pushes top. Jace can't defend topside, they're going to threaten dive. So G2 needs to hover into topside, Akali's going to go back, and you accept that. You lost Herald, you lose mid tower. Normal. You have Akali in your team, your wave clear is not perfect. Here, of course, Herald, he should just shoot the Herald. The play continued. Very, very sad. And then, yeah, everyone died. And then now the gold gap is, you know, sure, the gold gap is not so significant, but the fact is, this is a lot of concentrated gold on the right person. Orianna being fed is monster. Is very, very monster. She finishes 2 core and that concentrated gold. She's the only one on 2 core here, as you can see, guys. Only one on 2 core. Nemesis about a little bit. Don't press this E. Ooh, dirty, dirty, dirty. And now here comes the Shen ult, which is a bit late, but here Fnatic are just so scattered. They are so scattered. Doesn't help also that Jhin is completely out of mana. The game is not over at this point. I think you have some opportunities. Just because you have Akali and Shen, you have some opportunities to maybe like look to kill the Orianna. There is room to outplay. So here, just look how disoriented everyone is on Fnatic. You have 2 people sitting on mid, 3 people contesting river. They need to be united here. Jhin also no mana. Shen is walking into topside to, of course, use the fact that he has ult on. And then Jhin here is starting a recall. I think Jhin is starting recall because they assume that G2 is recalling, but they are hiding behind the corner. So this was like smart play from G2, right? And then here lands, of course, the E of Leona. Akali is clearing a pink. And here, you know, Akali can get away. Akali can get away. Here, they're already safe. They're already safe. They don't have a worse position. Everything is calm here. Jin can push mid. The only tricky part here is Jin pushing mid. Maybe it's difficult because they still don't have vision of Orianna. They don't have vision of Orianna. So these people are not seen. They are in fog. Yeah. Let's keep this in mind. So yeah, they can walk away. They can walk away, but they're going. So this is just a sign of, you know, complete miscommunication, because Jin position is over here. And by Jin's playing, he knows, you know, intuitively you can see that Jin knows that something's wrong here. I think Fnatic really like made a lot of mistakes in this game. Made a lot of mistakes. And once again, Jin is 0-0-0, and people were making a big point about that. Oh, Jin is useless. Reckless is just farming. Well, what should he actually do here? He has no way of walking up. He has no way of entering this fight. He just, there's no options for him here. He's cut off, and the fight is already decided. The fight is already decided. And I'm sure Fnatic are calling, this fight is lost. This fight is losing. This fight is losing. Otherwise, I'm sure Jin would move. And now, I was mentioning before, the Fnatic has chances. Now, not anymore. Not anymore. I think Jankos, if he buys Solari, the game is really finished. Really finished. Well, I don't want to speculate on who said who what. It's just, it was a poor play. Like, Jin was greeding because they thought that G2 based, so they thought they could match. But the Drake was alive, so I think it was a greedy play in the first place. And yeah, it's just set get locket. I wonder here, Jankos didn't get spotted by any wards. It's a very clever positioning here by Jankos. Very nice. Wunder, this is, I think if you look at a heat map of Wunder's deaths over his career, I think this is the location he dies the most. No business being here. Looking at Orianna position, looking at Orianna position on the wave. Like, the things that you have to always judge is, when you are a top laner or a side laner and you want to push past river, you have to always pay attention to your teammates. If your teammates are not past river, odds are you can't push. If you don't have control over river, odds are you can't push. If your teammates are basing, you definitely can't push. Because at least if your teammates are past river, right, and they're pressuring something actively, and you're here, and the enemy is ganking you, at least there's a price they have to pay. Now there's no price. This is easy. Do you think Akali should have built Hourglass second? I think when you are behind, you can't. And also you have Shen ult, and I think it's just... Orianna is too powerful. Like, you can't be itemizing armor here. Jin is so strong, actually. Jay's still no Manamune. Like, he hasn't finished stacked it. So, yeah, probably best chances here. Best chances. No 3-core Oriana. I think 3-core Oriana game is fucking finished. But now you have 2-core against... I guess a big problem here is the fact that Caps does indeed have a stopwatch. There's a stopwatch on Senna, and stopwatches can deny champions like Lilia, Shen, Akali completely. Like, these stopwatches are just shifting the game too much. And also Hylissang's positioning. Hilibaba. Okay, Hylissang is out, but he kept the ult, he kept patient. So it's not the end of days. Not the end of days. Shen is just pushing, he's waiting for the right time to go. Nemesis failing his E here, and ooh. So Hilibaba completely out. Nemesis needs to wait for Hilibaba to enter here again. The uses of Akali E was very poor here, but I think at this point in time, Fnatic probably... This looked like a move where... a team doesn't know how to execute a team composition, and then after the fight is like, you can just go in. And then this was the attempt, right? This felt like the attempt. So this was the attempt. Oh, we just need to go in. Just go in. I ult you, bro. But, yes. It is tricky. Mickey is playing this so well. Look at Mickey's position here. Look at Mickey. Look at that. Look at that. Hold the line! Very nice. And our game is finished. Okay, so I think this game definitely came down to Fnatic making a lot of decisions that were just poor. This Jace is giga strong. This Jace build with Conqueror scales so fucking well. Yeah. I thought, when I was watching this live, I felt like this game... This reminded me of Spring Split Final Fnatic. It really felt like Spring Finals Fanatics. Just completely disoriented, desperate, and this got me worried. Very worried. Boom. Yeah, this is a 2-item gap in the bot side. Okay. Yeah, I think I would say I favor G2 draft. I think we should stay away from Lilia in Europe. Okay. This game is 100% on Hilly for bad engages. No. You guys don't know what goes through it, you know. It's like the same people that are saying that that Hylissang is bad are the same ones that are saying that he's good. Like, in order for the good of Hylissang comes with the bad. In order for him to... It's just a line between crazy and genius, always, you know. And there are some games where Hylissang feels like they're in a losing position. You can clearly see Hili-Sang when he feels like he's in a losing position. He's trying to get it done if he feels like the enemy team is going to crumble over you. Isn't LCK 11 on Lilia? I say LEC should stay away from Lilia, not LCK. LCK have mid laners that can use Lilia. Alright, that summarizes that game.